mind digging in the dirt? Yes? Hey guys, welcome back to Appalachia's Homestead. Patara with you today. I just got back from North Carolina and I'm going to take you on a garden tour and show you all the progress. I've got a failure or two in the garden and we're going to talk about it. It is what it is, people. It's real life. But I just got back from North Carolina. I was at the Cherokee language camp today and it was a special day because they had a special guest looking at artifacts. He brought a bunch of, he's a true connoisseur, and he brought a bunch of artifacts in beautiful pieces for the children to see. So I got to go see that. And he also evaluated a piece that I personally own. And so it's been a great day. Took the dragon over, took the dragon back, saw Mama Bear and her baby cubs. What an awesome day. So it's 90 degrees. But we're going to show you what we've got going on here on the farm. Well, first things first. I don't need to get electrocuted. Okay, so here's the deal. We haven't had rain in close to probably 10 days here at the house. It's been at least 10 days. So we're having to water. We're starting to compete with weeds and we're competing with heat. And so it's getting to the point where you pick and choose your battles on how you spend your time and what are you spending your time on. So for those of you that look at my gardens and go, she doesn't have any weeds. Oh, contraire, mon frere, I do. And there's no shame up in that game because, folks, this is not, Fakeville on Instagram. This is real life. This is Mama and her cubs and her land and a one-woman show on many, many days because my husband works a full-time job. So, I'm the full-time farmer. So you're going to see some weeds, and I'm not apologizing because it's just what we do. So I'm going to film this part right here in the shade so you can sort of see the broad view of my three sisters' garden. Here's what is so strange, and this shows you the power of manure in your soil. I told you that I was planting Missouri Wonder beans around my corn, etc., etc. It has done fantastic up in this garden. I put a lot of extra rich cow manure in that garden up yonder. Due to time, and frankly, just because I didn't push it down here. The beans didn't come up down here, but they took over up there. So that shows you just adding manure alone and amending your soil just with that alone, if nothing else, makes a difference. So my little food tower here is so cutie-pootie, and I debated what in the heck am I going to do with this thing, and last minute I threw in some extra Roma 2 beans just to see what it would do, and lo and behold, we're about to get flowering, so this has turned out great. So this little experiment worked really, really well. Now, you can see right here on my mounds, I've got weeds that I can absolutely work on, and we will do so when we get some spare moments. But you can see my Cherokee tans are coming along great. They're beautiful and bright and open in the morning. It's dinner time and it's hot. It's 90 degrees. So, of course, they're saying, honey, I don't think so. So my sunflowers are thriving. These are my lemon queens all along the edge. I probably coulda, shoulda, woulda thinned them, but I let them go, and they are doing beautifully. You can see right there, we are beginning to get blooms. Hey, hot stuff, what you doing? Gonna go work on the barn. I'll be there in just a minute, baby. I'll be there in just a minute. Now this I love. I want you to see the Mandan corn. Look here. You should have seen this in full tassel because you had different colors of tasseling going on with this corn because it's your beautiful, a lot of folks call it your native corn, your dent corn, your Indian corn, bridal corn. And you can see, look here, even with the silks, they're coming on. So we're going to get several batches of this. This is where I planted those beans, and this was long before the weeds set in. Long before then, they just never came up. So again, I'm going to have to really work on this area next year Listen to that goat up there. Listen to that drama. But you can see it's really hot right now. Everybody's kind of wilted down. Weeds come in, and then you let your pumpkins or you let your squash or whatever take over. But the corn is doing great. On this side, this is the beautiful Blunt Mansion sunflowers. You can see I've got a few little critters here and there trying to show up and do some damage, but still, they're coming on. So we're beginning to get a lot of tomatoes. This is my Cherokee Purple. If you grow Cherokee Purple, as they start to turn, you need to get them off of the vine. If they need to finish ripening for you, put them in the windowsill. That way they won't wrap around the actual stand and morph, and that way you won't lose any of the meat. We have gotten a ton of cucumbers. I have a video that I filmed me last week picking cucumbers, and I'm still picking them, doing a lot of canning. So that's gone really, really well. But you know what has surprised the dickens out of me? My carrots. Check it out. Of all the things I've done this year that has surprised me the most, it has definitely been the carrots, because I planted them kind of late in the season and I was just throwing it to see what it would do. It's like, you know, again, it's like when you're making spaghetti and you toss the noodles up on the wall to see what's going on. I have no idea. Let's just randomly pick one. Now these are small carrots. They're just, you know, going to be 3 or 4 inches. And I did that size. Oh! So we are definitely making progress. I posted a picture last week or 2 weeks ago. I pulled one and it was like this big and everybody was laughing at it. I was like, I know it's teeny tiny, but at least we have carrots. They have really come along. So hopefully they're going to continue to get some size on them. But I'm just tickled to see what I see, because again, this is an intro year and a testing year for our farm. Check it out. So this was the goal of me planting these particular beans this year, was to seed save. So at least I've got quite a few to do that with. They did not produce down around on my 3 sisters, which that's okay. You know, that was a fun garden. It is a fun garden. It's always an educational thing for me and you and whatnot. But you can see the Missouri Wonders, which basically you can't get your hands on anymore, are really doing well here right in the center of our tunnel, and we're going to be seed saving, and that was the goal. I always love planting zinnias and cosmos. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'll be doing more next year because they really are my thing. I want to establish separate flower gardens. Check that out. This is from a wonderful friend that follows us and has just been so supportive of our channel and everything that we do, and we love Astro. She'll know I'm talking to her. Look at this one. Is that not phenomenal? Gotta love it. So I did not take back on the area where the sweet potatoes were. I was going to plant more beans, but instead of taking that on, I just said, let it go, let it go. And I've been working on the large garden up here more, so I just let that go. It's okay. So you see some weeds, but folks, it's all right. Now, speaking of, right next to that area, we have gotten a ton, and we have a ton of Roma 2 beans. We have a bunch of bush beans, and if I don't get my rear end out here picking them, I'm going to lose them. So today and tomorrow is pure garden time. So this is what I'm telling you. You've got to strike while the iron is hot. The good thing about beans in particular is you have so many options in terms of what you do with them. Oh, there's my sweetheart up there, doing my chores. Brownies, love him. But the good thing about beans is a lot of folks think you have to can them. Canning is good, right? But remember, you have to pressure can your beans because they are very low acidic, or have, you know, a low acidity. But also what you need to consider, and I have videos on this, is making leather breeches with the kids. Sit them down, they love it. Make leather breeches, and of course, there's always the freezer, right? So that's what I'm going to be spending my time doing. So I'm going to be splitting my time between freezing, canning, and hopefully making some beautiful, beautiful strands of my beloved leather breeches. So I'm going to be on my third growth and picking of peppers pretty soon. I've taken a bunch in, and let me tell you how I preserve my peppers. I love to make meatloaves and different spaghetti sauces and different things like that in the winter, and there's nothing better than to go to the freezer or go grab what you've dehydrated and throw them in the sauce, okay? Green peppers are the ultimate, and onions too. But I've taken a bunch in, and I've done what you call a flash freeze with them. I've chopped them up, put them on a large pan. Anytime you see me laying things out on large pans, I'm about to do a flash freeze. And you're going to take that item and you're going to put it in your freezer for an hour or two. You just want the item to get frozen enough so it's like one entity, okay? And then at that point, you pull it out and you put all of them in a baggie or 5 or however you want to divide it up. That way they don't tend to stick together as much. Peppers will, to a degree, kind of get in little chunks. Blueberries will stay separate, like little marbles. But that's what flash freezing is, and a lot of y'all have asked me about that when I say, I'm going to flash freeze. They're like, what in the heck is a flash freeze? So that is what I have done in the past couple of days with my peppers, is I've gotten them in, chopped them up, flash freezed them, and then put them together in large baggies and marked them for the wintertime. My Cherokee corn beads are thriving. We didn't just get a whole lot of foliage. We're getting a whole lot of beads. Again, comparing this area to the non-manured area over here, chicken squat all the way. Not only are we getting beads, but we are getting beads earlier than last year. So definitely remember that going forward. If you choose to plant your Job's Tears or your Cherokee corn beads, you have to have hot manure mixed right in with that soil. So we've got to water again. We watered this morning, but you can see how dry everything is getting really fast, folks. I'm really serious. So I have echinacea and the coneflowers and coreopsis and butterfly bushes and daylilies. I'm starting to bring in items that are my favorites. I love traditional native and wild flowers, herbs, whatnot. So I'm going to be planting this probably tomorrow and over by the house, because I like to have some landscaping, beautiful, but I want to mix in all of these items in, because I'm telling you folks, if you don't have good pollinators, your garden is dead. So this is where I've been spending a lot of my time. We have here, this is the second half of the garden. Right over here, we have cosmos. We have my freezer I've brought from my old house. Third one. And we have 2 rows of beans, and then we have 4 rows of corn, okay? So this is a second phase. In other words, this section of the garden is at least 2 to 3 weeks behind that section over there, which I will show you, which is producing a lot of produce right now. So a lot of people say, how do you weed? Huh? What do you mean, how do I weed? Let me show you. That's how I weed. Lawsy, looky here, mama. Look at all my water. Now, I don't know. There's a little voodoo magic here. We have watermelons coming out our ears in our mounds. This one already has at least 10 to 12 multiple growing beautiful melons. Very excited about that. So this has done really well. You can see. So that's going to be awesome. Now, if I can make my way over, tiptoe. Oh, what? How do you pull your weeds? Wait a minute. Let me show you. Okay, that was hard. Now, I didn't pull them weeds real well, did I? Look here. We have corn all throughout this entire area. Folks, I'm hoping it comes on quick, because we're having to start watering, and we really need some good rain here in East Tennessee. It's like we start to get these storms. They go right around us, and then they tend to go down and hit the Smoky Mountains right near us really hard, but it bypasses us. So this is a competition now between us and the labor and the heat and the water bill. So I have a ton of beans. Like I told you before, it's really nice to be able to pick your beans. And I love Roma 2 bush beans. They're my favorite because you don't have to string them. You just pop the ends off and pop them and you're done. The good thing about this, like I said, beans give you a large variety of things that you can do. You can pressure can them. That's pretty standard. You can put them in the freezer. You can make leather britches. Or if you're like me, we're going to make dilly beans. Now, I chose a variety of corn this year that I had never grown before. It only gets 5 feet tall. That's about right. I am really impressed so far with the ambrosia. Everybody likes peaches and cream, silver queen, whatever. Different types, but I went with this to try it, and also because, frankly, guys, as you know, the timeline of us moving in here, pickings got really thin, so I thought, why not? And I think we're really going to enjoy it. It seems very sweet, and it's coming on good. So, hopefully, as it continues, we're going to have a really good harvest of corn. You know they're just burning up there, right? Just absolutely burning up. So I'm going to be up here and helping James, bless her heart, and I'm going to spray down my cows if I can get them in the shade. Lovey right here really likes to have a cool shower. The other two, not so much. But she likes it. All right, guys, so I'm going to conclude this video. We'll keep you posted on how this is going. Again, we've been working in the garden a lot. We've already been bringing in a lot of harvest. We really are blessed this year. We didn't expect to garden really at all. Again, you just never know what the year is going to bring. So anything and everything that you can get for you and stow away for you and your animals in particular too is always a win. So guys, I hope you're staying cool out there. Holy moly, you know what? As I'll say before and again and after and always, come January, you're gonna miss this. You're gonna want this back. Right? Amen. Guys, stay blessed. We'll see you on the next video.